Hello you guys, this is Eggless and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my kitchen. So I woke up this morning and I wanted cinnamon rolls so bad, and I kind of wanted cinnamon rolls because I think a couple days ago I went to McDonald's and their product picture for their cinnamon rolls looks so divine, but obviously I have like dietary requirements that I want to follow and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna, like, the first thing that I did as soon as I took a shower and everything, I literally came out into my kitchen and I was like, I'm gonna make myself some cinnamon rolls. Now this cinnamon roll recipe has chocolate chips in it. I love anything chocolate. It is like my biggest vice in life is like chocolate chip anything. I like to put chocolate chips inside of it. It's my favorite recipe. I've been using it for years. So this recipe is eggless and it is dairy free. I did use butter in this recipe just because I had butter on hand, but you can obviously use like vegetable oil, anything like that, to kind of like make it vegan and like completely dairy free. I just haven't found like a good enough substitute, and I just wanted cinnamon rolls that I knew how to make. You can totally customize this recipe. I know I did. Let's just get right into it. I have 2.5 cups of self-rising flour. I have 1 cup of almond milk. You can use any milk. The recipe that I'm using is just a regular recipe, so they used whole milk. I personally want to use almond milk. I also have half a cup of butter melted, and if you're using butter, you want it to be melted and not soft because it's not going to melt properly. I have 2 teaspoons of just regular white sugar. I have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then for the filling, I have right here, I have 2 tablespoons of regular sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then I have 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I have 2 tablespoons of butter right here, melted as well. And then I also have chocolate chips because I like my cinnamon rolls to have chocolate or like some kind of chocolate element to them. It's my absolute favorite. First things first, I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven, 350. So now that the oven's preheating, I'm gonna go ahead and take a large bowl and I'm gonna toss in my flour, sugar, my cinnamon, and then I'm also going to add a pinch of salt. And then we're going to whisk all of these dry ingredients together. So they should look a little bit of like a beige white because of the cinnamon. Now we're gonna put in our butter, and then we're gonna put in our milk. And I'm gonna whisk this guy together. And what we're looking for here is a dough. I'm gonna knead this, but before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and make the filling and then knead the dough, roll it out, and then the filling will be ready for me. So I'm gonna grab another smaller bowl, and I'm just gonna put in all of my sugar and cinnamons, and then I'm gonna toss in my butter and then mix this guy together. So here is my filling. It's gonna be more of like a pasty consistency. So there it is. Now it's time to knead the dough together. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put down some self-rising to make sure that it doesn't stick, and just keep on kneading it. Here is our dough. It's nice and smooth. So I'm going to lay down some more self-rising, and now we're going to roll this guy out. So I'm going to grab my rolling pin and just roll this guy out. Okay, so now that I have my dough all rolled out, with this, you really want to make it as long as you possibly can. When you roll, it's going to go like that. So you might be tempted to just make this like as round as possible, especially if you're Indian, but don't. So now I'm going to take my little sugar mixture, my little filling mixture, and I'm going to just pop this guy on. Okay, so now that I've spread out my cinnamon mixture, now it's time for the fun part. This is 1 cup of chocolate chips. I'm probably not going to use all of them, but you just go ahead and you spread the chocolate chips all on the dough. And this is just going to give you like a really nice chocolatey like inside. I love chocolate and cinnamon together. So this is one of my favorites. Probably use like half, so like half a cup, but we're definitely going to use the rest to melt and put on top instead of icing. So here's the hard part. Now you got to roll this up. So I like to take the edges and just kind of lift them up just slightly and just go in with the best of my ability. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you definitely want it to be easy, and making sure that the sides are like tucked in pretty tight. So when you get to the end, you really want to kind of roll it to make sure that it's sticking to the other side. Now we're going to take a knife. It doesn't have to be this big, but you're just going to go ahead and cut like 2-inch cinnamon rolls. So I have 8 cinnamon rolls, and that's typically the normal. So now what I want to do is grab a tray, like a cookie tray, and line it with some parchment paper. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Parchment paper is such a huge lifesaver, especially for like cleanup. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna plop our cinnamon rolls onto the tray. I can usually do 6 per like one of these trays, just because you never know how much like they're gonna expand, and I like to be like safe rather than sorry. So I'm gonna put 6 on this guy, and then I have a smaller tray that I'm gonna put the other 2 on. And now these are going to go into the oven for about 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and check up on these guys to make sure how they're doing. I usually like to leave anything in the oven for about 20 minutes and then check up on it, and then kind of go in 5-minute intervals. So let's pop these guys into the oven. This is what they look like. Alright, so here they are fresh out of the oven. I should have honestly rolled them a little skinnier, but it's fine. So I'm going to take the rest of my chocolate and I'm going to melt this guy, pour it over, and then try it for you guys. Alright, so here is our chocolate, and I just take like a butter knife and I just kind of spread it on the top. And because the cinnamon roll is still hot, it'll start dripping off of it as well. Alright, this is what they look like. They honestly taste a lot better than they look. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a try for you. Okay, now it's time for the taste test. So I'm just going to pick this one because it looks good. And let's break this open. It's really soft. I really like that. This is it. This is it. I literally have not made this recipe in probably like a year and a half. This is it. I love these because normal cinnamon rolls, my only problem with them is the fact that it's sweet, but it's not chocolate. Like I love chocolate. I don't really like sweets. And this is just like hitting the spot for me. Like, oh, this is so good, you guys. You guys have to try this recipe. Let me know if you guys try it. But yeah, A+ in my butt. Alright you guys, so that is all that I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what other kinds of videos you guys want to see from me. I am so sorry, my pets are really loud. But let me know what other kinds of videos you guys want to see from me. I have been really enjoying like baking and cooking and being in the kitchen. So if you guys want to see more of that, I'd be more than happy to do that for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. You are helping my dreams come true. And I will see you in a video super soon. Mwah! Bye guys.